41st Ward, which represents the area on the far northwest side and includes Islands Park School and the majority of the schools that were mentioned in the presentation. This is a very difficult issue, contentious issue, and part of it is because of the victim of our own success. I've been the alderman for over 17 years, approximately 17 years, going on my 18th year. 12 years ago, the mayor took over the responsibility of the public schools. They were frankly in shambles, and nobody was sending their kids to school. We have made great strides since that period of time, and I'm very, very proud of parents, schools, school councils, and Edison. Edison has been the flagship for this ward and also the ward with the city of Chicago, and I'm very proud to have that in my ward. But also with that said, we've got 7 of the top 10 elementary schools in the city of Chicago. So not only have an overcrowding issue, we have an issue of where they are experiencing and providing and showing academic strength, and it's been growing consistently, which has been good for everyone. After attending many of the LSC meetings last year during the election cycle, the issue of overcrowding, when I met with the LSCs, was invariably brought up about what the situation and problem was. It was also brought up that Edison, if that wasn't an option at the time, to become a community school. There was some background talk about it, but nothing was concrete until I found about it about 2 weeks ago when basically everybody else did. We did stopgap measures with the mobiles home, the modulars, but their life expectancy is not that long, and if the demographics prove out correct, they still will not be sufficient. I also realize if we take Edison Park School to a community, it won't be sufficient either, but it will relieve some of the problems on that. And also some of the issues that were brought up too is that why doesn't the CPS, build another school? Well, there's a few different reasons. One is that we don't have the land. I know there's property back here, but from my experience, I know that from experience from a few years ago when we tried to attempt to make a campus park with a soccer field, it was met with great consternation by the neighbors. But after 2 years, we finally got that straightened out, and it's worked out well. But the immediate neighbors would never bargain for to have that type of intensity of use on one parcel of land. The other part of it is that the money, and I know the Board of Education understands, is the state hasn't had a capital program for building schools in years, and that has hurt us tremendously. Now, they point out that they're building the schools on the south side and elsewhere. The vast majority of those buildings are in TIF districts, tax incremental financing district. We, because of the success and because of our house values, don't really qualify for a TIF because there's not enough room on the growth side in order to finance it. So we can't avail ourselves to that. There is also some schools that have earmarked money. Earmarked money is usually by a senior leader in the state legislature who, because of their position, can use their discretionary funds and direct it directly to one school. I know the Board of Ed discourages that type of action. We discourage that type of action, but because of their strength and of their into position, they are able to accomplish that. This position that you're put into is something that is actually a good thing because it shows all the hard work from all the parents and the LSCs throughout the whole neighborhood. But the numbers speak for themselves. That we have to have, a movement to lessen the overcrowding in the other schools. And I know 15% or more of the students that attend Edison are my constituents and my homeowners, and the only thing on it is them that regardless of the decision that the Board of Education makes, that I will not abandon you, because your children are my constituents also, as you are, and as this is a difficult time. And everyone is concerned about their first priority, or one of their first, as it should be, is their parents, is their children's education. And there's an old Irish saying that every mother's crow thinks their crow's the blackest. So they will all do what they think is in the best interest in them. And I'll just close to say that I sympathize with both sides, and if my students, my children were attending Edison School, and from where presently we are, I'd probably be against this move also, because I do sympathize and I do understand it. But as also my position, I think that my position has to be what is best for the most of the constituents and most of the children altogether. So I thank you for the opportunity to speak. I thank all of you for coming out. I thank you for all the work that you do with your children and everything that goes with that. The volunteering, the LSC, the coaching. That's why we're one of the premier awards in the city of Chicago, and it's thanks to many of you, and appreciate you listening. Thank you.
Thank you.